Hey guys, I'm Greg Hardy and welcome to my channel. According to data from Experian, the average American has a whopping $104,215 in debt. That debt is spread out across mortgages, auto loans, student loans, and credit cards. That's up 11% from 2020, when average total consumer debt was $92,727. According to the New York Fed's quarterly household debt and credit survey, total consumer debt stands at $17.987 trillion as of the first quarter of 2024. That's a record high. Also, the Federal Reserve tracks the nation's household debt payments as a percentage of disposable income. The most recent debt payment to income ratio from the fourth quarter of 2023 is 9.8%. That means that the average American spends nearly 10% of their monthly income on debt payments. The goal of this video is to dive into the debt profiles of each generation, from Gen Z all the way through to the silent generation. The statistics I'm about to share with you will open your eyes to the financial realities facing different age groups. With years of high inflation and rising interest rates, let's see what that means for you and for your wealth. Later in this video, we will see which generation has the highest levels of debt in things like credit cards, car loans, student loans, and more. Some of the numbers may surprise you, but before we get into all that, I ask that you hit that like button and also consider subscribing to this channel if you're wanting to grow your wealth. It will also allow this video to reach a wider audience and help even more people. Now let's get started. Age group, Gen Z. Average debt, $29,820. Gen Z, the youngest adult generation, is already dealing with significant debt, averaging $29,820 per person. Most of this debt comes from student loans, as many in this group are either finishing college or have recently graduated. The high cost of education means many young adults need loans to pay for school. Additionally, some of this debt includes credit cards and auto loans as they start to build their financial lives. For those of you in the Gen Z generation trying to get your finances in order, you're facing new challenges due to the current economy and rising prices. Bank of America's research shows that many young adults aged 18 to 25 find it harder to save money, pay off debt, and manage financial stress because of inflation. High rent and home prices are also making it tough for you to cover daily expenses. Despite these difficulties, most of Gen Z are taking steps to improve their financial situation, such as looking for better jobs or finding extra sources of income. Bank of America had an article that showed Gen Z is determined to handle these financial hurdles. About 75% are trying to earn more money by changing jobs, starting side businesses, or working multiple jobs. Even with the challenges, 66% are actively saving for their financial goals, and 58% feel hopeful about their financial future. They are confident in managing basic financial tasks like budgeting and handling daily expenses, but need more help with complex issues like investing and saving for retirement. This generation is eager to learn and find the right resources to help them succeed financially. Age group, Millennials. Average debt, $125,047. For years, Millennials have struggled to accumulate wealth compared to their baby boomer parents and Gen X counterparts. Many grew up during the 1990s, one of the longest economic expansions in U.S. history. However, by the time they graduated from college, they faced severe impacts of the Great Recession. Older millennials entered the job market just as the corporate sector was experiencing the worst economic downturn since the Great Depression. The result of this was a significant wealth gap for millennials compared to other generations. By 2016, families headed by millennials born in the 1980s were about 34% below the wealth levels expected for their age group, according to the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis. Although this gap narrowed to 11% below expectations by 2019. Older millennials still had the highest debt burden of any demographic, making them particularly vulnerable to economic shocks. Age group, Gen X. Average debt, $157,556. This is the generation that I fall into. Members of Gen X are born roughly from 1965 to 1980 and have the highest average debt stemming from student loans, credit cards, and mortgages. According to the Federal Reserve's Survey of Consumer Finances, Gen Xers hold about 38% of debt in the U.S. They're the group holding the most debt at about $7.1 trillion. This doesn't mean that they're doing poor financially because according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, consumer expenditure surveys, 70% of Gen Xers are homeowners, while just 30% are renters, which is far higher than Millennials and Gen Z. Also, according to a recent Bankrate survey, 47% of Gen Xers have more credit card debt than emergency savings. This isn't a new development, as I read an article from 2014 that echoed that same sentiment. Many are in the phase of life where they're buying homes or upgrading to larger ones, which is resulting in larger mortgage debt. Unlike previous generations, many Gen Xers are still paying off their student loans, and some are even taking on debt to finance their children's education. They have also faced major economic challenges like the dot-com bubble burst and the Great Recession, which hurt their savings and investments. The rising cost of living, including expenses for health care, education, and housing, has also forced many to borrow more money to cover these costs. Also, many Gen Xers are part of the sandwich generation, meaning they are financially supporting both their aging parents and their own children. All these factors together create a tough financial situation, resulting in significant debt levels for Gen X. Age group, baby boomers. Average debt, $94,880. Baby boomers born between 1946 and 1964 are facing a lot of debt for several reasons. One major factor is mortgage debt. Many boomers took on mortgages later in life or refinanced their homes, leading to substantial outstanding balances as they approach retirement. Additionally, the rising cost of healthcare has forced many boomers to rely on credit to cover medical expenses, contributing to their debt levels. Another reason is the financial support they provide to their children and even grandchildren. Many boomers are helping to pay for their kids' college education, weddings, or other major expenses, often using credit cards or loans to do so. Additionally, the financial impact of the Great Recession reduced their savings and investments, leading some to accrue debt to maintain their standard of living. All these factors combined making it challenging for baby boomers to manage and reduce their debt as they near retirement. However, according to Experian, consumers in the baby boomer category have seen a significant decrease in debt since 2015 at about minus 7.5%. Age group, silent generation. Average debt, $38,600. Like their younger peers, those in the silent generation have also seen a decrease in debt since 2015 at 7.7%. However, they aren't immune to debt themselves. One major factor is healthcare costs. As they age, many in this generation face increasing medical expenses, including long-term care, which can be very expensive. These costs often exceed their savings and income, forcing them to rely on credit cards or loans to pay for necessary medical treatments and care. Another reason for being in debt is that some members of the silent generation are still supporting their children or grandchildren, whether it's helping with college tuition, housing costs, or other financial needs. These extra expenses can add up, leading to more debt. Also, some in the silent generation have taken on mortgage debt later in life, either by refinancing their homes or taking out reverse mortgages to supplement their income. These financial products can provide immediate funds, but also increase their overall debt burden. To recap, the age group with the highest average total debt is Gen X at $157,556. But let's break that down a little further. The age group with the highest average credit card debt is Gen X at $8,266. The age group with the highest average auto loan debt is Gen X at $26,765. The age group with the highest average mortgage debt is Millennials at $261,484. The age group with the highest average student loan debt, Baby Boomers at $43,554. And the age group with the highest average monthly debt payment is Gen X at $599. If you're ready to start paying off debt, then Dave Ramsey has the 7 baby steps that my wife and I personally use to become debt-free. Here are the 7 baby steps in order. Baby step 1, save $1,000 for your starter emergency fund. Baby step 2, pay off all debt except the house using the debt snowball. Baby step 3, save 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses in a fully funded emergency fund. Baby step 4 is invest 15% of your household income into retirement. Baby step 5, save for your children's college fund. Baby step 6 is to pay off your home early. And baby step 7 is build wealth and give. I've covered the 2 most popular methods of debt repayment in a few of my videos, which I can link in the description, but they are the debt snowball and the debt avalanche. The debt snowball method targets the smallest debts first, allowing you to gain momentum as you move on to larger debts. In contrast, the debt avalanche method prioritizes paying off high interest debts first, reducing the total amount of interest you pay over time. Depending on your specific debt situation, either of these strategies can help you pay off your debt more quickly. Paying off large debts with compounding interest is difficult, especially if you can't pay the full amount at once. Many people with moderate to significant debt find that making only minimum payments doesn't stop their balance from growing over time. This situation is known as a debt cycle, and debt cycles happen when you consistently borrow more than you can repay. If borrowing is your main method of paying for things, your debt can quickly grow beyond what you can manage. To avoid this, try using money from your checking account instead of taking out new loans or increasing credit card balances. While it may take longer to save up for purchases, this approach will help you avoid accumulating more debt while working to pay off what you already owe. Getting out of the debt trap is just one way to build your savings while paying off debt. There are other personal finance strategies that can help you achieve both goals without sacrificing your long-term financial stability. Practical budgeting can boost your financial confidence. Focus on paying down high-interest debt before investing, as interest charges can grow quickly and surpass any investment gains you should expect. Taking on temporary debt for education can be beneficial, as it can lead to higher earnings and better job opportunities. However, it's crucial to manage this debt wisely and have a plan for repayment. Every generation encounters its own set of challenges and opportunities as it relates to debt, making it essential to adjust your financial strategies as you progress through various life stages. By taking proactive steps, you can enhance your financial health and ensure a more secure future, no matter your age. If you want to learn more about growing your wealth, then check out this video right here. But before you do that, don't forget to like and subscribe. Guys, thank y'all so much for watching. I really hope you liked this video and that you got something out of it. I'll see you in the next one.